All right, this video is going to focus, it's another building video, and yes, these are considered buildings, but it's going to encompass all of the separate resource buildings. And these are the buildings underneath the train tracks that aren't including the two that are for the suburban town and expedition. So each of these different buildings have different resources that are focused on. I mean, it's kind of a given. This is food, and you can produce your farm. This is the quarry. You can produce rock. This is the mine. You can produce iron or ore, as it's called now. And this is the logging camp, which produces wood. Now, each of these have a different capacity that you could have for each of them. And as you get bigger, the more you produce. So with my experience, I have two of each of these in hyper farms except for food. Food produces the fastest. The next one that produces faster after that is iron or ore. And then the next two are wood and stone that produce. Stone produces a little bit less than wood, but just by a very small amount. Now, wood and stone are used the most, so I wish that I don't know, I don't understand why the game maker set up ore as the one that produces the most out of those three. Food obviously produces quite a bit because they anticipate feeding your troops, but most people have a account that they feed or dump their resources into so that their troops aren't eating up all of their resource that they have. So I know this is a quick little rundown of everything, but if you click on each of those buildings, it'll tell you by hitting the production button what you're producing, how much you're producing, and what the capacity is and how much the upkeep is. When you see on the right-hand side that it's producing, that means it's active. It's actually churning out production. My account knitter is always going to show production because as soon as it produces something, the troops eat it. So it doesn't matter how I could fill up this whole thing with farms and only farms outside of having at least one of each of the mains so that I can continue to upgrade. But if you look, the total amount that I'm producing, so you can see total grain production. So that's with every single one of the farms that I have is only 260,373, but it takes 9,606,609 an hour just to upkeep because it's feeding into my troops. Okay. Now the quarry is going to look different. It's not going to have a couple of those lines because it's not really affecting it anything because troops don't eat stone. But you'll notice on the far right side it says full because look, I own 32.13 million. The capacity is only 4,566,800. So it stops producing when you own more than the capacity. All right. Logs, same thing. I'm full. And the mine, same thing, I'm full. Okay. All right, let's take a look at one of these I buttons in this production tab. If you click on that one, it explains capacity to you. And the capacity refers to the minimum amount of the resources that can be stored in each resource building. When the resource production reaches capacity, your resource building will stop producing resources. And then the total upkeep for the food Upkeep means the consumption of food which is used to sustain your troops' lives. The more troops you have, the more food they will consume. So you need to keep note that your total food production greater than the total upkeep, or the food will be consumed sharply to zero. Your troops will not starve to death, even if your food goes to zero. So many people that are new in the game focus on constantly gathering food to keep up with the upkeep. It doesn't matter. Your troops will not die if they aren't fed. It's a game. They're not real. They're not alive. It's a game. But you can improve your food production by doing research and whatnot. So, in my farms, I have all these different things that I've researched. Also, boosts can happen through your sheriff skill presets. There are so many ways to boost. Go to the videos that have the sheriff skills and the sheriff presets, and it explains to you how setting up those boosts can increase your production in your food, your iron, your stone, your wood production. All of those are boosted in that. So those are your resource buildings. Hopefully that helps answer some questions that you might have. If you do have more questions, leave a comment in the section below, and I will be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again for watching. You guys are an awesome group, and stay positive. Keep plugging away. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.